Hi everyone, welcome to Marianne's Mystic Mentions. I'm Marianne. Thank you so much for being here. Let me say first and foremost how deeply I appreciate every single one of you that is supporting me on my channel, because there's a lot of readers, there's a lot of beautiful, talented readers and, intuitives and psychic and all the wonderful array of spiritual guides that want to help as I do, and you choosing me it means everything. And if you're new, thank you even more, because you're kind of, you're taking a chance, right? You're like, let's see how does this feel? And it's really about that. How does it feel? Are you connecting? Do you like my energy? Does it make you feel comfortable? Because those things are so important when it comes to our spirituality and readings in particular. So thank you very much. I would love you to like, subscribe, and all the beautiful things to do in that way. And when you do, it means everything to me. So thank you. And moving on, I'm going to be doing readings for every single sign for the month of December. I am doing these readings the latter part of November because we are officially in the shadow period of Mercury retrograde. And I can explain that to those that may not know what that means. But bottom line is it happens 3 times, sometimes even 4 every year. And it is when the planet Mercury appears to be going in reverse or retrograding, and therefore things slow down. It becomes more internalized. It's not a time we want to be actively trying to pursue something new per se. We want to be aware of the challenges, I guess the best way to put it, truly, with things such as technology, communication, and transportation. Mercury is the fastest moving planet, and the movement involves our mind and, mercurial things with business, things with, wheels, things that move. And, when it's slowed down, sometimes, it's a time for us to recognize things that need to be fixed or attend to certain circumstances, and allows us that time. All the re's, as they say, review, revisit, relax, reminisce. It reminds us of things from our past. It brings people and circumstances from our past into our present again to review and to contemplate about. But it's not going to stop us. It may take a little longer, and I know this, so I wanted to allow plenty of time so I could get the readings out for everybody. And that's fine with me. So today's reading is going to be for the beautiful earth element of Taurus. And I just want to say, for those that are new and returning, I am now, my brand is not seeing my face, but my body and hearing the messages, which I think is the most important part. Hopefully you can hear. Side note, my reading to Aries, I had to laugh because I didn't realize it during the recording, but this is sort of that, as I mentioned, Mercury retrograde aspect. We're in the shadow period. It becomes official on the 25th of November, and it runs through December 15th in the sign of Sagittarius. But before I get off the beaten path, I was reviewing the first part of the Aries reading because I like to know if the sound is correct, if the lighting is correct, and so forth. And I heard this rustling in the background during the beginning, like this part of the reading, and then it was continuing, and I just had to laugh. I was like, oh my gosh. My beautiful cat, Eclipse, is on the floor to the right of me down there in a big, heavy-duty black garbage bag. He just enjoys them. Cats love that. But I was not aware that sound was happening. He started to do it again, and I said, come on now, Eclipse. You can always go under the chair or wherever else you'd like to go. 4 years ago when I was doing readings, he was a kitten, and there was I did not allow him in the room. Now he's very much welcome, and he is the love of my life as well. He's just a beautiful, beautiful spirit. And so if he gets, I may have to go over there, but for the most part, he seems to be mellowing out and maintaining his urge, as it were. So back to you, Taurus. So yeah, we're doing the readings. And I just want to say that you have had a very emotional time, I think, in the sense that we had this beautiful full moon in your sign. We get a new moon and a full moon in every single astrological sign during the year. So This was your full moon. It was on the, what was it, the 15th? I hear rustling. He's moving a bit. And I always ask Spirit to kind of infuse me with messages and information prior to each reading. And I also get the energy hit, if you will, and download of what specific color of glove to wear. And I do equate them with the chakras, and that's what I do initially before your reading, is check in with the chakra of the day. But green just came out so powerfully for me, and it's just about our hearts. Now, this is a very bright apple green, but we're in a fiery season coming up within about 2 days. And we've had a lot of influence with Mars, which is the planet that rules Aries. And in the season of Scorpio, we're about to finish, also ruled by Mars. So there's fiery energy, there's heart-centered feelings, there's, you are a Venus-ruled sign, Taurus, so you are all about the senses. You like getting your hands in the dirt. You like feeling things and knowing you can touch and feel and sense, and even beyond the senses. I've known many, many Tauruses that are very, very psychic and very in tune with their gifts and capabilities. For those that are new, I am a long-time Tarot intuitive psychic reader, which I just thrive on, and I can't imagine not being a part of. So I'm grateful for that. But I also ask Spirit to help me evolve with these readings and ways to express myself to you in the most clear, concise ways, for the highest good of everybody. And yes, the heart came out as an important aspect, and we'll see what that means in your reading, and if there's a correlation here, which a lot of times there is. Now, as I said, we're going to do your chakra check first. Chakras are important and they're vital for all of us. They are energy systems throughout our body. There are a total of 8, ranging from the base chakra to the sacral chakra to the solar plexus chakra to the heart chakra to the throat to the third eye, the crown, and then the 8th being the all-encompassing, consciousness that connects us all and has us knowing we are one with the universe, basically, okay? So, and beyond. So what I do is I just put these under this table quickly and I shuffle it, and then whatever one comes up is what I need to read to you for the day, because sometimes the best thing we can do is keep our chakras in alignment and feeling in full force for our best balance, our best selves, our best energetic, selves, and so forth. Sometimes they get out of alignment. Sometimes you feel a blockage of sorts. And this might be a message for those reasons alone to double check, and the saying that comes along with it. So you have, I'll be darned, this is just the one I got with Aries readings, and I shuffled them really well. So this is about the 6th chakra, which is the third eye. So I'll be very curious to see and take note as to how many people are getting this particular chakra, because it's so important to be in tune with our inner knowing and our intuitive aspect that each of us have, and we can utilize at any time to create a life or manifest a life that we truly, truly want. Now, what I'll do is, as I mentioned, I'll turn around and read to you what it says about the 6th chakra. Now, mind you, 6 is a number of balance. The 6th house in a zodiac aspect of, astrology, is that each of the 12 signs represents a different house, which is, our money, our family, our mind, our dreams, and so on and so forth. And the 6th is the house of work and everyday events, our health, our well-being, our value, all of those things come into play. It's also representing the planet Venus, which is your ruling planet, Taurus. So what it says about the 6th chakra is, my intuition connects me to the all-seeing, omnipresent nature of the universe. Divine intelligence flows through me. I am provided profound insights that allow me to navigate life's constant movement with simplicity and ease. And that's exactly what spirituality really amounts to. It's feeling and knowing. There's always a co-creation happening, a presence available to us, a force or source, a higher power, whatever you want to call it. It's always in action. We have divine right. We have our own choices. We have our own, it's really a freedom of will, if you will. And yet there are certainly things that happen out of our control. And this is reminding us that even the times that feel out of control, we have that connection where we can speak and ask for guidance and direction, in divine timing and such. So I love this so much. And what I didn't do last reading as well is I have this gift I was given, and I've been utilizing it ever since. It was in October. I absolutely love it. It also speaks of, in connection with the 6th chakra, which I happen to have here because I just did this for the reading of Aries. So there's something to be said about that and the synchronicity of that. But the message is in regards to the really important crystal that could help you and protect you as well, as there is such an amazing array of crystals, and it's another beautiful part of life that grows in our earth and helps to protect us in many ways. I have never without a crystal. I have them in my pocket as I speak. They surround me. I'm a massage therapist by trade, 5 days a week, full-time, so that's still happening, and I love to protect my energy when I'm working with people because it's a lot. I take on quite a bit, right? So it's worked beautifully for me. And so this card represents, once again, the third eye, and that represents the 6th chakra, and it's about insight, dreams, and intuition. There's the word intuition again. Now, I don't know if it's because you are an earth sign. I do. I've read up for many years, but the fact that you're an earth sign brings you closer to the earth, closer to the natural parts of life. You love nature. You love things that are natural. You love good food. You love growing in your garden and just anything that you can taste, feel, smell, and such. Those are part of the senses that we all have. We're all born with. Some are more in tune with some of them than others. And you always want to try to balance that out as well. But intuition is a huge portion of this third eye. Listening to that, taking time to review and relax in this retrograde, not pushing forward. That full moon in your sign that occurred on the 15th, that's very, very powerful. It's very spiritual. It's guiding you and showing you the light. The full moon, and boy, was it bright. You could see it for days before it was actually full. It's opening up an opportunity for you to look very clearly at something that needs to be seen so you can close off, start fresh with the new moon, which happens to be in Sagittarius on the 30th of November. So we had 2 new moons and a full moon in the month of November. That in itself is very unusual, but it's beautiful. They call it a blue moon sometimes when you have that second moon in like the new moon. And then what I wanted to say is I have this beautiful necklace, and I like to infuse the chosen crystal that comes with this beautiful gift, and I just put it in the necklace to kind of help with the reading and add to that. And it is the amethyst, which is right here. One of my favorites. I'm always surrounded with it. It's one of my favorite colors, but it's also, I find, one of the most healing crystals that I use. And it removes toxicity. It definitely helps in healing of all types, financial, emotional, physical, and so forth, relationships, you name it. And the moons tend to cause some definite emotion. There's a lot of emotionality that goes along with the full moon. And so I guess I was sensing that with the gloves, like I said, in the heart center, and you probably are maybe feeling deeply in tune with your emotions and the love that you feel in life. And that can make us a happy emotional, right? The tears that come from pure joy is what I'm actually sensing as well now. So that is the chakra check for the day. And we're going to go into your reading. And I do want to say a couple of things about it this month. I'm going back to the Celtic Cross. I changed the layout of the readings. And, just to keep things spicy and, moving along. And also I changed the decks, of course. And this month I'm doing something I've never done before for the month of December, for all the readings. I am bringing out my deck that I received when I was 32 years old. My first deck, the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. And I can tell you, this was half a lifetime ago. So you can do the math on what my age is. A legitimate half life ago. And I've always been interested in astrology since I was 12, and the compatibility, and I want to start a mini-series on the basics of the compatibility between signs and the elements, and just this incredible study that is so accurate in so many ways. But I digress. I've even lost my train of thought. Thank you, Mercury retrograde shadow, yet again, because it will happen. And so I had used this deck. It has given me so much help, so much strength, so much guidance that I wanted to share it with all of you. And it was a gift. It was a gift. And it was given to me in this beautiful purple pouch that was made for me from the same friend whom I've had, who happens to be a Pisces. She's a very spiritual person, and that is one of the most spiritual signs, and open to all sorts of, outer world, inner world interests, very, very, no boundaries, no like, well, that can't be, and there's no, a little different than you, I might say, Taurus. You're kind of set in your ways. You are a fixed sign, but it doesn't mean you're not interested in this at all. I've known many psychics and incredible tarot readers and astrologists that are Taurus. So I just mentioned that, you are a fixed sign. Sometimes you tend to stay with a certain regiment, and you may not want to, move from that style or that something you were used to. But I will tell you that there's so many changes happening as a collective now. And then one of the most biggest ones, of course, is the fact that Pluto has changed signs from Capricorn into Aquarius. Now, Pluto in Capricorn was actually probably extremely good for you. And that started in 2008, but it was before that as well. I mean, it's been around for a long time, and this is the final that most of us will see in our lifetime of Pluto being in Capricorn. And it went back and forth a little bit in the last year and a half. But as of the 19th of November, it's in Aquarius for, up to 2043 and onwards, so most of our lifetimes, certainly mine. I hope to be alive longer, but I'm not counting on it. It's whatever happens, right? But this is an amazing deck. So the energies in here are so incredibly deep and real. And I will be doing the Celtic Cross for you. So I had shuffled them before, but I want to do it a little bit extra because, my goodness, that other card came up. Let's see what Spirit wants you to know, and what you can hopefully resonate with. And don't necessarily think it has to happen immediately. There's no real time frame when it comes to spirituality, but I will tell you that this is a general reading. So, there's a lot of Tauruses in the world, right? And it will probably affect you differently, or maybe at a different time. I don't know, but only you will know. And you can certainly let me know. I'd be very grateful to hear any kind of feedback. So we start with the overall energy, okay? This is kind of how you are presenting, how you're feeling, the energy that is coming from you and exuding off of you at this time. And that card is stuck together. We have, well, we have you, dear Taurus. So clearly, you are in your energy. You are feeling your incredible gifts. You are feeling the strength of your spirituality. This represents a teacher, a master. It's the Hierophant. It is, like I said, notably known as, you are the Taurus that it represents. You are the educator. It represents religious rite as well. It can definitely have to do with ceremonial situations such as marriage. you know, the person who would be igniting, or how do you say that? The person who does the actual, I was the one who married my brother and his wife, and I can't even think of what it's called now, but that was a lot of years ago. You know what I'm speaking of. It could be a priest, depending on the religion you are. It definitely represents that, a uniting. There are keys that represent keys and wisdom and doors that can be opened. Okay, it's a very powerful card. It is a master card. I mean, not a master card. It is a major arcana card. So there you are, sitting beautiful in your power, in your strength, feeling grounded, and possibly very, very much in love, and thinking about a relationship that's long-term with somebody. That's definitely coming to mind. And there's the heart association, like I said. That makes perfect sense. Let's see where else we can go with this. I like it so far, because there you are. And then the second, of course, is the blessings or blocks that's crossing your energy. And you have the Nine of Swords. Now, the Nine of Swords is an air element. It is the Libra, Aquarius, and Geminis. And it absolutely has to do with our thoughts, as all of the air signs represent the mind, the brain, the ability to think, to learn, to educate, to express themselves, to communicate, to connect. Excuse me, throat chakra. Yeah, just the things that we tend to do in life when we're thinking a certain way, and how that can affect us. I mean, more than most of us even realize. If we're thinking negatively, it'll then, of course, affect our physical. That affects our well-being. That affects our ability to do anything, you know, and feel strength and empowered, such as this Hierophant. Maybe this is the lesson to remind yourself. You may have placements that are in your natal chart, which you can look up very easily for free on a couple of the sites on Cafe Astrology or Astrodynes, I recommend. Very notable, important parts of you, because there's so much to be said. It's more than the sun sign, and I forgot to mention it, but it'd be great for you to watch your sun, moon, ascendant, and Venus. I would even say Mercury, because Mercury is the planet that has to do with how we communicate. And you are a communicator as well, even though you're not an air sign. You're actually known, your physical body part is the throat. So that's something that you have to keep in mind. I don't know if it means that you've had tonsillitis in your life, or, you know, you tend to have sore throats or colds and that sort of thing. It could go that way, but it could also mean that you have this beautiful singing voice, as do many Tauruses. If you look up celebrities, a lot of them are Tauruses. My mother was the same birthday as Cher. She was a singer, actress, very beautiful voice. But what I'm trying to say is, a lot of times, you know, even as gifted and as blessed and special as each and every one of us are, we still have doubts. We still worry about things. We are human. And this is reminding you to just be aware of those thoughts whenever possible, because all they are is temporary. They're a passing thing. They're like clouds. They're air. They move. They're the fastest moving element, to be honest. Well, maybe water is close tie there, but you get my point. And in this beautiful depiction, which I love about the Rider-Waite anyway, even though I love so many of my decks, and they're all variations on the same theme, you've got a quilt here that's got the roses and just faith and, security, friendship, love. You've got in the little side part of the bed, it looks as though there's some volatile incidents, a fight happening. Now that's Mars infused, a lot of times. That's not air, but I mean, we've had a lot of Mars energy happening, and we're still in the throes of Mars being in not only the sun sign of Scorpio, which is the season we're in, until it becomes Sagittarius on, I believe, the 21st, 22nd of November. But we have the powerful influences from the eclipses that were in the North Node of Aries, which is ruled by Mars, the fiery, ambitious, kind of conflictive, kind of controversial energy, if you will. There's that quick to anger kind of, kind of that you need to keep at bay. Maybe somebody said something that was out of line and you didn't expect it, and you feel really hurt by it. You're concerned, but it's nothing. It's passing. I promise. That's what this is here to remind you of. Be aware of your thoughts always. They are very, very powerful. So then we move on to the foundation of the reading. And that is exactly that. That's what's happening in your foundation. Are you feeling secure in your body from the feet up? All the chakras up? Are you feeling that your home is a secure place? Does it have a safe environment and foundation as well, literally or figuratively, right? Is the foundation stable? Could it withstand any kind of major, natural disaster, if you will? God forbid. And you have the Page of Pentacles. So there you are. That's a pentacle. That's a ground earth sign element. And it's about new. It's about beginning. So perhaps you want to put a new foundation in your life in some way, figuratively or spiritually. Maybe you have a new idea that will pertain to ways to make money. You are known as the money sign, Taurus, across the board. And because of that, because of your persistence, your stubborn diligence, which is a beautiful thing in a lot of ways, right? Your ability to be slow, methodical, redundant, if you will, but also just never giving up, which you have a destination, you have an idea, you have a thought process and an intention, and that comes to life. And that's in every aspect of your life. It's about your money, of course, your stability, first and foremost, probably in a lot of ways for Tauruses, because that matters that much. But in your ability to, really establish great health, which is an incredible wealth, right? That's one of the most important wealthy things, is to have great health. When you don't have it, you certainly will feel otherwise. And you'll want that to be your priority, I can promise you. But, this is something new. This is something that can be presented to you in a job, in a partnership, and it's coming forth. And it's not a time to necessarily pursue it, but the messages are coming through to help with that grounded foundational energy. Something is going to be brought to your attention. Maybe it's a child brought into the house, just to solidify the family and to make it that last part that's just going to make everything just so beautiful, right? You've got the marriage here perhaps, and then you bring in the child, and it just feels whole and complete. Okay, so that's something to consider, especially with the new year coming and all the new transitions of planets that are huge and lifetime things that have only happened once in a lifetime. They affect us all, and they'll affect you as well, Taurus. Let's see how much more and what we can learn from how they will affect you. You have your recent past, and you've got the Eight of Cups. Now, this is the emotion. This is the sensitivity that we all have. But like I said, coming in, I felt there was this heart feeling. It definitely is about the cups, or the element of water representing the cups. Are they filled? Are you saturated? Are you hydrated? Are you using your beautiful gifts of creativity? And that can be on any level. It doesn't mean you have to be an artist or a painter or a singer. It means you have the ability to create a life you want, a family, as I said, a schedule, a plan, a manifestation. Write it down. With these new moons and full moons, they have so much power in that direction. And there's something about writing things down. It just always seems to come into fruition even more. You're moving away from emotional issues that weren't really necessarily working. Could be people, could be thoughts. Once again, that did come up with the Nine of Swords. They weren't satisfying you, or they weren't fulfilling. The ninth cup is in the Rider Waite is fulfillment's, cups fulfillment, okay? That all your wishes, all your emotions, feelings, perfectly happy. And then the next is the 10th, which is the ultimate, right? But that one missing is what you're going for. You're leaving behind things you know aren't working. And many of us are doing that. I don't know if you have friends or family that are moving or changing jobs or changing the way they feel about friendships that aren't working, that feel toxic in some way. It's time. We have the reference of the eclipse here as well. And like I said, we're still feeling the effects of the eclipses from, yes, the Aries, Libra, nodes eclipse. That'll end completely in March when we have the last eclipse in Aries in March, I believe the 29th. The Aries, meaning the Mars ruled, the strength to do what we need to do, the leadership qualities, the confidence. If that was lacking for whatever reason, it generally isn't with Tauruses, I'll be honest. You have a lot of great confidence too in your own right. But if you felt lacking and something happened in some way, and there's so many ways that can be, I can't say this is a general reading, of course. It's something that you know you don't want to be dealing with anymore. You're willing to end that. And that's what's so beautiful at the end of the year, to release things you know you need to, starting anew. This has great potential for you. So we move then to the possible future, Taurus. And what we have is the King of Cups. Okay, so we've, this is amazing, because we had the emotional, you know, understanding that there's just things we have to let go of, or we had to let go of, people, circumstances, places. It's always for our highest good. I feel like you welcome it. It is more, it could have already happened. And then you have the King, which is the most stable, emotional, you know, fulfillment. The King has lived a lot and has dealt with a lot, and just has gotten to this place. You see the water is pretty calm, and it's definitely always about emotion. Wearing the blue, representing our emotions. They're at an even keel. You know, he's in charge. He's a giving, loving, caring, creative energy, and we all have that within us. It's a matter of finding that and reaching in and asking for that to show itself as brightly and as efficiently as possible. And so I love that for the possible future. It could be a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces that's very prominent in your life. And by the way, as far as the compatibility goes, earth signs like yourself and water are extremely compatible. So many times in my readings throughout the years about compatibility and such, I have found them to be amazing partners in love and friendships, in work situations and scenarios. So this is gorgeous. You know, you may have a lot of water in your chart and you're feeling your feelings now. It's so important to do that, to reflect and you know, really sit with these things during a retrograde especially, and just kind of review, and then set your sights on what you want to have happen in the future and write down those intentions and such. With that new moon, it's all just perfectly beautiful. Now, the next is your more immediate future. This is a possible, right? And they all tie in together as well. So I love it as a storyline for you. And you have Justice. So whatever was concerning you, whatever you felt you had lost or were lacking, it's coming back full strong tilt. You're going to have yourself fully immersed again in all the beautiful feelings that you deserve, that you've worked for. You know, it comes in stages and cycles, right? And Justice. This is the representation of Libra, actually, and that was the big influence of the last almost 18 months after the March final one in Aries, with the eclipses of Aries and Libra. And it's about relationships, absolutely, centered mostly about that. I did so many readings and they were talking about, oh, I had to break up, or I'm stronger than ever. We went through some kind of tough times, but we had these conversations. They were deep, they were necessary. We went to the next level, we moved in together, we were buying a house, We're thinking of having children. You know, all of us deserve that justice. All of us wait sometimes what seems like eternity, but it comes about when we're persistent like you are, Taurus. Now we go into the stem of the Celtic cross, and we have kind of your overall feeling and perception of your life right now. What are you feeling? What you're thinking? What are you thinking of this reading? Ace of Pentacles, man. There you are. There's the money, honey. And you know what? That's what you have created. You did you worried yourself. You associated, you worked with higher power, whatever that may be. You thought about things a lot because you never usually rush. I will tell you that. You've gotten some new inspiration. You have been affected by the moons, yours especially. It gave you an epiphany. It gave you some kind of insight, and you're ready to go. This is a beginning. This is new. This is being gifted to you. You know, it could be money. It could be health in any way. It's something new. It's something very, very useful, and something that'll be long lasting. In the background, you see this very fertile, I want to say, but, luscious, abundant surrounding, which you love. You love, like I said, all the senses matter to you, from taste to smell to touch to feel to your intuition and that knowing. It's absolutely beautiful. The next is your environment. Well, you work hard, and that's not a surprise to me. This is the fire element. It's the 10, though, and it's a new cycle. You take away the 1 or the 0, it becomes 1. 1 through 9, and then the 10 starting over. You've had a lot of responsibilities. I don't think you mind taking that on, but after a while, it will affect you. If it doesn't affect you physically, it will mentally, and you will need to stop. And you may have been fearful about something actually physically. I mean, when it comes, I'm not a doctor by any means. Trust me, I'm reading the energies. But a lot of times, you may have noticed that you were taking on a little bit more and you start to feel it physically. So you're like, okay, that needs to stop. It's time to delegate a little bit more, right? That's what that means. And this will probably be the end of the most that you've done. I don't know if you're in the phase of almost retiring as well. That's coming to mind. But it's a new start with new possibilities on the financial front. And that's happening anyway with the change of Pluto into Aquarius. Mark my words. It's very technically involved, but it's also about finances. It's about collective, the world at large, the changes, the out of the box, the new ideas, the breaking away from old systems. Okay, that was Capricorn. That's all ending. So I think you're embracing that, but changes, it's different for everyone. So it's something we adapt to, right? And you'll have a lot of years to do so. Then we move into the next, which is going to be your hopes and fears. And we have the 6 of Cups. Well, there's that sentimentality. There's thoughts from the past. This is what Mercury retrogrades do. They bring people in, family members. There's that feeling, that lovely feeling, that emotional feeling of remembering those that we love that are no longer with us, even though, like for myself, they're with me more than ever. I speak to them daily. The people that I've lost and loved in my family and friends and so forth. But this is beautiful. It's the reciprocation, the reciprocity. You feel like you're being giving and that's being brought back to you, and it's that time of year and you just want to be around that and you want to share that joy and you want to eat good food and you want to have festive times during a holiday, right? That's what they're about, as emotional as they can be. So I like that very much for you. The only thing I would say as far as the fear is not to hold on too much to the past. It can happen and it can keep you in that place, but you're ready to start new, and it's brought up a few times here, and it's a really wonderful energy. It's not something to be concerned or worried about. It's working in your favor, Taurus. Final outcome card. Wow. Okay, there's the Empress. This is, I'm told this represents Libra, but it's absolutely the giving, most incredible, loving, creative, abundant, beautiful, prosperous energy. It's birthing ideas. It's literal birth once again. So I am not surprised if you're expecting or you want to be expecting, whatever the gender, there's a very good possibility, and I'm extremely excited for you if that's your case. I do prenatal massages, and with people I've had and known for a long time as clients, and when to see the inception and to go through that and to see them after the birth and be working with, it's just such a beautiful part of our lives. It's just, I don't know, miracles. It's an understatement with the miracles that we experience in this life. And to focus on that is essential right now. You have so much creativity, so much beautiful energy that's saying that you'll get your just rewards. You're moving away from things that you know weren't working for you. It doesn't matter your age, doesn't matter anything about that. This is a guidance coming to you. Please utilize it. Know that you are absolutely loved. So yes, other than reminding yourself to not think things that are going to make things harder for you when you really don't necessarily know the outcome. And even if something detrimental or unfortunate has happened, I'm not dismissing that at all. We all experience that, and it's not easy. Allow yourself the time to grieve. Allow yourself the time to feel whatever it is you need to. But then remember, there's always a new day. There's always a new sun coming out. There's always a new moon coming out. And that's what's going to really carry you through this beautiful, wonderful new year that is new to all of us, right? So I'm going to finish your reading with an angel card. This is also another deck that I've had for a very long time. And I think I've only brought it up a couple of times as well. I do angel reading for myself every day as well. I have a very large ritual before I even see anybody or go to work in the morning, basically. So I'm just going to shuffle one more time. I've been shuffling it before in between readings, but for you, it's a message just to hopefully coagulate and to kind of work with the energies that we already see, which are incredibly beautiful. There's so much here. Do let me know if you would. Please do subscribe, like, and share. Thank you so much for those that are. It helps the channel so much. And I greatly appreciate you for it. Oh, I love this. Whenever I pull this, I truly love it because I know that you do. But it's a reminder to trust. That word, oh my gosh, that word and feeling alone. I mean, when you trust, and I mean really trust, like you just surrender and you let go of the worries and the concerns and things and say, I trust in the process. I trust in divine intervention. It's always there. Miracles and things that you can't even imagine will come through. I know you've experienced that before, and I know you will again, and I hope you carry this trust with you throughout December and many, many months and years to come. Thank you for your time again. Have a beautiful, beautiful December and holidays if you do celebrate that. And hope to have you come back in January. Thanks so much.